make great gifts and stocking stuffers for kids, but did you know there's a right and a wrong way to pick out books for your children?
Yeah, Beth Gaskell, founder of Big City Readers, is joining us with her do's and don'ts and top picks for the year. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so let's start with the question that, look, kids don't necessarily ask for books for the holidays. They don't necessarily, I want a big shiny book.
Forget Legos.
Right. So why should kids get books under the tree?
Right. So besides the obvious reason that we want kids to love reading, when we take a holiday or a birthday and we gift a book, we're sending this like secret messaging that books are treasures and not a chore. And it comes from these tiny moments. But I have some ways that we can make it more magical and not the chore that we think it is. But we're just adding that tiny message, and it's like going to make a big difference in the long run.
Well, that's what I'm curious about. Is there a right way and a wrong way to gift books? And I think we want to know the right way, because I think that's important. You don't want to be like especially if you're giving, if you're an aunt, like I'm an aunt, I don't want to be the uncool aunt that like Tamsin gave me a book, but my other aunt gave me, how do you do that?
Exactly. Okay, Tamsin, I'm the same, and my goal in life is to be the coolest aunt. So I like to do, so pick something like, say, a dinosaur for your dinosaur-obsessed nephew, and then pick a dinosaur book, so you're going to pair it. So not only are they still getting the toy with it, but they're actually going to be, go grab that toy and the book. They're making that association. Mm-hmm. And then I think, the only tiny shift I would make in the right and wrong way to give books is that we don't want to, only give books to kids who might be struggling with reading or the bookworms. We don't want to put them in these boxes, but we want to say books are for everybody. It's the best gift. It's the best thing you could get your hands on. But adding the pairing, maybe you give them a pizza party and a pizza book. So something that kind of goes together where you can read that book together and they get the special exciting toy or experience.
I like the little psychology in there.
Trying
to create associations. I like that.
Good.
All right. What's the biggest mistake people make when giving a book as a gift?
I think that the biggest mistake is kind of our energy. So we don't want to be I know I could have gotten you something different, or I got this because. Don't try to explain why it is. Your energy about oh my gosh, I have been dying to give this to you, and just really committing to it is going to make them feel really excited to get that book too.
Now, if you have 4 expert tips for us on how to pick out crowd-pleasing books, so I think that's good to know those secrets. Can you help us with that?
Yes. Okay. So I think the one thing I look for that's the easiest thing, if I'm just at a bookstore and I just open a book and I flip through it, I'm going to look for a book that is rhyming. This is especially important for 0 to 6-year-olds. Rhyming is actually one of the biggest predictors in reading success, even more than knowing their ABCs. So a rhyming book is going to be a great thing to build language, build reading skills. So that's what I always look for first. Then I look for really simple. So we want simple pictures and simple sentences in the story. So we don't want it to be too complicated. We think that that's what helps kids, but it actually isn't. We want less. That helps them think bigger if we are, giving them less. And then, my favorite sneaky tip is to look for a book that has a pattern interruption. So if you think about a book like Brown Bear, it's animal, 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 and at the end, oh my goodness, it's a person. So that kind of pattern interruption is so exciting for all adults and kids, but kids that are developing these reading skills and love to be read to are going to just love. It's like a hug for your brain when there's that pattern interruption in a story.
All right,
and then the last one, sorry.
The last one, yeah.
Sorry, I have one more, is does it grow with your child? So, does it have an underlying message that you can use? Say you have a baby and a 6-year-old, is it a book that you can do with both of them and find different little nuggets in?
Got it.
Smart.
So I want to ask you, what are some of your favorite books for kids?
Okay, so I have 3 right now, and the first one is Aaron Slater, Illustrator. And this book, without giving away too many of the spoilers, is about a boy who learns a little bit differently, and he has trouble fitting in, and he, in the story, learns that it's okay to be different, and he actually, finds all of his gifts in his learning differences. And it's also written in a dyslexia-friendly font, which is just so exciting. And it's the same series as that Ada Twist Scientist, if you know those books.
Ada Twist, yeah. All right.
Yeah. Okay, and then the next one is In My Heart, and I love to gift this at baby
God,
showers.
I think we have this one. I have that one.
Look at you.
You're winning. You're winning as a parent. So In My Heart is so exciting to give to a parent, but also I just gifted it to a second grader who's having some anxiety about school. It really helps name feelings by giving them a shape and a color, which is
Nice.
easier for kids than for them to be able to say, I'm really angry right now. But they could say like, oh, my skin feels orange and my head feels big.
That's good. And then the third one, yeah.
The third one, yes. The third one is Jabari Jumps. And this is an excellent story because it really talks about the courage to face your fears. But it doesn't just say, like, you know, it's brave to jump off the diving board. It talks about what to do when you're not feeling very brave, and that it's also brave to feel nervous.
Gosh, I love that. I feel like those are books adults need to be reading too, along with the kids. Bev, it's
Exactly.
always good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us and
Thank you,
sharing your
guys.
expertise. And
It's
if you want
always
to check
great
out,
to be here.
yeah, well, if you want to check out more of Beth's ideas, go to bigcityreaders.com or follow her on Instagram at Big City Readers. And if you DM Beth on Instagram saying Pix11NYC, you can get an expert Pix book list as well.